Google is not a search engine, it's an AI corporation. This is a statement that Chris Salter from Concordia University in Montreal delivered during a recent keynote address at the Futurological Congress Humanity in the Age of Artificial Intelligence in Trento, Italy. Google is not a search engine, it's an AI corporation. And so is Amazon. These are the largest AI corporations on the planet. There is something dark about characterizing these service providers and research centers as AI corporations. Since in your book you cover possible negative implications of AI on society, do you think that this may be one of them?
Yes, definitely. This can totally be one of them, but it depends on the way we look at this issue. I'm going to give you an example. Facebook is notoriously using AI to optimize our news feed, so to decide what kind of content we're going to watch when we open Facebook or when we open Instagram. So the problem is this artificial intelligence that they use has been fine-tuned to optimize for engagement. So these AI algorithms are going to do whatever it takes to maximize the amount of time we spend with our phones in our hands. Now, there's a negative implication of this, which has been studied already by many people, which is that this is making people addicted to these services. It's making people less happy. It's fostering depression in the younger generations, especially. So in this case, what we can see is that AI is enabling companies like these to achieve scales that are vastly bigger than anything else we experienced as a species, I would say. But again, what is the problem? Is it the technology itself? I would say that the technology is just a tool that these companies, specifically in this case, we're talking about Facebook, are using in the wrong way. They're using it to optimize a goal, which is in this case engagement, because it brings them money, and the side effect of it, it's a negative one. So it's about trying to use this tool, keeping in mind every possible repercussion of the tool on society. There's another point that has to be made, which is that AI needs data to be built, today at least, because most of AI applications are built using machine learning, which is a technology that allows computers to learn from data. And companies like Google or Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, etc., they have such an insane amount of data that basically becomes like a barrier to entry to any other smaller company. It's basically impossible that any company can gather a data set that is as big as what Google has, for instance. What does it mean?
And not even the
Not even
government,
the
or,
exactly,
it,
exactly.
yeah.
The U.S. government, we know that they collaborate with Google or Facebook for when they need certain analysis, right? And this means that these companies have an insane power that can't be matched by anyone else, at least in the foreseeable future, right? And so then the question arises, what happens when a private organization has an incredible amount of data that can allow this company to build super powerful AI systems? That's a very big problem. And this is why a company called OpenAI was founded a few years ago. OpenAI is a company that does research on artificial intelligence, but they open source everything that they research. The funny thing is that this company had to basically make a step back in regards to their mission a few months ago, because they built a model called GPT-3 that was too powerful to be released in the wild. So we can already see examples of companies that know that what they've done is too powerful for the general public to know, right? And then they try to keep it secret. I think this is a big issue, and that's why I believe that AI should be regulated. I don't think we should leave this insane power to private companies to keep, whatever technology they were able to develop for themselves without even disclosing what kind of tech they have in their hands. There's a big issue that we need to face, I think, sooner than later, because it's the time is now. It's not in 5 years.